let's look at some use cases that might push you to buy an RNS name that just come on top of my mind. I'm not going to list them all. You might have different use cases, but just some of them that are very, very obvious, and some of them that people are purchasing RNS names for at this moment in time. But keep in mind that there are so many use cases, and some of them I'm not even aware of. Right. So starting here, the first use case to have an RNS name would be primary name, right? So the primary name, and the idea of a primary name is to attach this friendly name, which is the RNS name, to your wallet address for that to be resolved. Thinking of a quick use case in mind here, for example, if you look at this wallet, let me just unlock this wallet. So this account here, which is right here, is associated to Murdy Kim. So whenever I connect to any application that has the RNS name, that has the primary name resolution, instead of showing this long address, it's just going to show Murdy Kim, and it's going to show the profile picture or the logo. So that's a very big use case that we know of for things also like ENS, right? Where you can attach your ENS to your wallet address. So that's a pretty neat use case that we've seen popping up in different ecosystems, right? But then you go into very deep things where your RNS name can be used as a name for your application, right? Whereby I think many applications in the promo web ecosystem just use RNS. For example, here if I go to ao.ar.io, so AO is used for the AO docs. If I go to anything like, let me see, Bottega here, you'll see, right, these are all applications, right, that make good use of the Arrive name system, that makes good use of the Arrive name system via those RNS names. So you can deploy your app to any Arrive name. The other thing is you can decide to attach any file to your RNS, right? Because remember, any file or any data in general uploaded on Arrive has a transaction ID, and that transaction ID is 43 characters. I don't know how many people can have that in mind, can memorize the 43 characters. So rather than doing that, you can just assign that type of data to an RNS name or an RNS undername, depending on your use case, and use that. So for example, I have something here. Yeah. For example, my profile picture on all socials, I've assigned it to rounded underscore Murdy Kim. And you can see, right, whenever I do rounded underscore Murdy Kim, this shows up. Another one that I deployed in one of the previous videos about RNS is called agent. So if I do agent underscore Murdy Kim, you'll see the agent from the matrix photo appearing. So you can attach an RNS name or undername to any file on the promo web. So yeah, and I think another thing is digital identity, right? Digital identity, whereby your RNS name can just become your digital identity. Or if you have this one RNS name, you can assign different undernames for different things, right? For example, I just showed you my profile picture lives on my RNS name under the undername rounded, and you can do so many things with that. So there are so many use cases where you can just use RNS names, and they'll make it way easy to retrieve any data that you uploaded on Arrive rather than using the 43 character transaction ID. And I'm sure there are so many use cases that will come in the future or that are already out there that I'm not aware of. So yeah, excited to see how people use these RNS names, because I think they are really, really interesting. And also, maybe this is not a use case, but it's more like an advantage of RNS names, is that they're not tied to any gateway. So you can use them on any gateway that you want, and they will return the same data. For example, if you go to murdykim.ar.io, if you go to murdykim.arrive.net, yep, and you go to murdykim.permagate.io, they all return the same data. You see, this data is the same as the data here. It is also, this is still loading. It's also the same as the data here, right? So that also added that decentralization layer to it, which is very, very interesting. And I think this makes it way different from other naming services that we've seen even in Web3, right? And that's why I'm very, very excited about this.